Hi friends, it's Cheryl from the Lifestyle Digs, and I'm here to talk about day 2 on my Camino de Santiago. Now I'm here talking to you in front of the camera because I don't really have much video or pictures from that day due to the weather. And I've also tried to make a few other video recordings, but my other camera with the microphone, it just seemed to be coming out really fuzzy. So once again, I'm trying to get day 2 off and running. Okay, so day 2, I was back in San John Pied de Port because on day 1 I had climbed to the top as far as you can go on the road, which is about 15 kilometers from San John, and I was picked up by the Mountain Shuttle Express at the Cross Thibault. I'm not quite sure how that's pronounced. And it took me back to St. John where I spent a night. And then in the morning, the mountain shuttle took me back up to where I ended the day before. And then I continued my journey up off a little goat track. Up over the mountain. It was very windy that day, and we knew that there was rain in the forecast. But when I started walking, it was just windy. So climbing up over that mountain, the wind pushing me back, it was pretty tough actually. You just really pushing into this very strong wind. At some point, I reached a cattle guard crossing, and I think that is where the border between Spain and France was. So I walked over the cattle guard, and I was in Spain. A little further down the way, I came across one of those magical moments from the Camino, and there was some cattle that were just wandering down the road grazing. And it was a good thing there was that cattle guard because they wouldn't be able to get into France.
With a moo moo here, a moo moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo moo.
I also saw some horses grazing up the mountainside, and it was very, very steep. So these are pretty good mountain ponies that they were able to graze on such a steep landing. Here, take a look at these little beauties that I took pictures of. As I descended into the Roncesvalles area, I took a couple of pictures looking down the mountain and into the valley, and I managed to take these pictures just before the rain started. So when the rain started, it was very light at first, so I have a cover for my backpack that came with my backpack. So I put it on, and I hoped that would be good enough, but it was not. In about 30 minutes later, I had to take out my rain poncho, which covers both me and my backpack, and that's how I continued the rest of my descent into Roncesvalles. Now, it was pretty good rain. We were going downhill. There was rocks. It was slippery. It was not very good conditions at all. And I slipped a few times, but I didn't fall on my ass or anything. And lucky for me, because when you're old, you don't want to fall. But I didn't see anybody. I'm walking, 45 minutes before I saw another person who, passed me because, here's the old lady going down the hill. But I was also having trouble with my knees, not my kneecap, but the outer area of my knee, both knees, and they were both quite sore and it made walking downhill quite difficult. I didn't understand what was going on because I have never felt that kind of pain in my knees before. Eventually, I got to the bottom of the mountain, and another pilgrim had joined up with me at that time, a much younger fellow, and we were trying to figure out because there was a lack of signs, really, markers to show you the way, which is a Camino. I thought it was down this one path, but the fellow said, no, that's going through that field where those cows are. And we went onto the highway, but we didn't see it, but we could see the marker from there, which was definitely that path that was going into the cattle field. So in we went, and I wasn't so much concerned about the cows, but there was some horses in there, including a mare with a newborn foal. And that was it's like that was the mama horse was more what I was worried about than anything in there. Anyway, continued on to Roncesvalles. I arrived there at 12:30. Originally, it had not been my intention to spend the night there. I had planned to keep on walking, but due to the rain and the wind, it was quite turbulent at this point. And I also had these sore knees, so I stopped in Roncesvalles for the night. They have most of the beds were already reserved, but there was 70 beds down in the dungeon, down in the basement, and they were still available. So I got one of those beds, and it was really cold down there. All I could do was set up my sleeping bag, pull on my winter socks, the only time I wore them at all in the Camino, and I just sort of hunkered down to my sleeping bag. Staying the night at Roncesvalles, I believe it was 24 euros for the night. That included bed and included dinner, and dinner was either the choice of meat or fish. Now, I'm a pescatarian, so I do eat seafood, but mostly I do follow a vegan, vegetarian diet. So I chose the fish option. And, here I got a trout with a head on, which kind of, grossed me out. So take a look at this. So that's how my day ended. A really tough climb, and descent, especially in the weather and sore knees, and sleeping in a cold bed for the night, and not a very nice dinner at all. But let's see what the next day will bring. This is Cheryl from Lifestyle Digs. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.